11 months ago, during the 2024 election season, I shared a video outlining what nonprofits can and can't do or say politically. Well, today I'm making a new video to update you on some major changes that were announced in July of 2025, and they were specifically for churches. If your nonprofit is not a church, I still encourage you to stick around to find out what these changes could mean for you. Hi, I'm Teresa Clark, and I'm a seasoned CPA with over 30 years of experience serving 501c3 nonprofits. I've experienced both as an external CPA doing audits and an internal CFO to organizations. And I'm here to serve you, so you can learn more by going to teresaclark.com. Today I want to summarize what just happened, what hasn't happened, and how this applies differently to churches versus other nonprofits. Let's start with what has changed for churches. As of July of 2025, the IRS has formally settled a lawsuit involving 2 Texas churches and the national religious broadcasters. Churches and other houses of worship may now endorse or oppose political candidates from the pulpit and through traditional church communications without fear of losing their 501c3 tax-exempt status. This includes sermons, bulletins, websites, and even other expressions tied to the church's regular religious activities. These endorsements are allowed so long as they're not tied to any financial contributions, campaign activities, or the use of church resources beyond the normal communication channels. Here's what has not changed. The Johnson Amendment remains federal law. It has not been repealed. The IRS's new position is a policy change and not a change in the law. The IRS has only changed how it interprets and enforces this law specifically for churches and houses of worship. All other 501c3 organizations, including schools and charities and foundations, are still prohibited from endorsing or opposing political candidates. Any political endorsements tied to donations, campaign coordination, or non-religious organizational resources may still be considered a violation, even for churches. Let's talk about why this matters for compliance. Even though enforcement has shifted, churches should still be aware that this is a policy interpretation and not a legislative repeal. So future administration or even an IRS commissioner could actually reverse the course on this. The underlying legal risk still exists if policy enforcement will change again. Now, non-church nonprofits are still fully bound by the original Johnson Amendment restrictions. So for all 501c3 organizations, remaining informed on compliance changes is so essential, especially as election cycles will start to intensify and even public scrutiny will grow. One of the things that I've noticed in this is that the people in my circle are in 50-50 split over whether this is a good idea or a bad idea. As always, this change emphasizes the importance of staying current on nonprofit tax and compliance issues, and this information is being shared as general information. I'm not trying to give you legal or tax advice today. We do recommend that churches and nonprofit leaders review their internal policies on political engagement. You educate your leadership teams on what is and isn't allowed, and that you do seek legal counsel for advice specific to your situation. Now, I want to talk to you heart to heart. As a congregation member and a participation in many religious organizations, let me share my personal feelings on this. While it may now be okay to endorse a candidate, I always think the best kind of leaders don't tell people what to do, they equip them to be who they're created to be. So a more beautiful expression of this for me looks like educating people and equipping them with truth about the issues, about the platform of candidates, about the key principles, and then personally explaining how that's showing up in your practical decision of supporting a certain candidate. And if you're thinking, wait, do we even have a policy about political engagement? Well, you should. So this is a great time for me to remind you that we're passionate about partnering with churches all over the country to help implement the types of policies and systems that not only safeguard your resources, but strengthen your stewardship, and also prioritize situations like this that will protect you for the long term. If you'd like to begin a conversation about your church's needs and whether we might be a good fit to come alongside you in this season, click the link in the description of this video. I look forward to serving you.